Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video, welcome to the first video in my new Monster High series called The Monster High Archives, where in each episode we're going to take a look at the lost media of specific projects that have come out over the years from Monster High. In this video, it's all about the lost media for Boo York, Boo York. For some context, I just got really inspired by @Clawdeen one of their reels on Instagram. They left this comment talking about the scrapped plotline from Boo York, Boo York, and then I went down this rabbit hole of Nerdcorp, Byron LeBeau, and all the stuff that they had, you know, designed, early versions, early stages of characters, backgrounds, plotlines that had never been used in the finalized versions of the movie, including also just early stages of characters and just sketches, which to me is fascinating. So here we are, and let's get into it. All of this concept art and descriptions are taken from the Byron LeBeau Tumblr. The first article here says Boo York, Dinosaurs, and it's from January the 1st, 2016. A few Monster High concept pieces I did a while back. The top piece is from 13 Wishes actually, and was the attic in Monster High where the girls found the lamp. In the end, the dinosaur bones were removed and replaced with large windows. The bottom piece is from Boo York, Boo York. Originally, here was a storyline where Laguna Blue and Frankie Stein split off from the main group and had their very own adventure. Here, they were exploring a museum late at night. Both were rejected on the basis that metallic sex believed dinosaurs were too boyish, as in girls don't like dinosaurs. I still don't agree with that. So that is very interesting. Not just, first off, the actual concept art looks amazing for both what could have been in 13 Wishes and Boo York, Boo York. But then also, it's fascinating to me how Mattel execs really thought that dinosaurs were like too boy, when, you know, dinosaurs are like a universal fascination. It's historic. They're not, you know, specific to a gender for appeal. I mean, maybe they are a little more actiony because of Jurassic Park, but here it's not even like a main part of the movie. It was literally just a background prop in the scene probably. Like, it wouldn't have played a big role. So it's kind of weird that they would have really hinted towards that's too much boy, and that's why they would have removed it from the movie. And, you know, altogether the separate plot line with Laguna and Frankie, I mean, just imagine what we could have gotten if those two characters had gotten their own little side mission. Also, just look at how awesome these designs were for the dinosaurs. I mean, I can only imagine what the actual monsters would have looked like, but this is really cool to see dinosaurs, you know, that are set in place in a Monster High universe, like, because we don't really get to see much, you know, dinosaur-esque looking, you know, bone fragments of old monsters in the Monster High universe. It's really not much of it, again, I guess because Mattel really thinks it's too boyish to include bones of dinosaurs or whatever. But I think it's more fascinating because it shows you the old, you know, big monsters that used to exist in the universe of Monster High. Next, we have early concept art of Seth Potomly. It says here November 10th, 2015. Some early concept arts for Seth. At one point in the story, Caddy Noir was alone on the streets and staring longingly in a window for some dresses. A low point for her in the script. Below are some early design ideas for Seth as well. In the earliest versions of the script, Seth was obsessed with his button collection. Here he is deliberately boring Cleo with his button collection. What? He's obsessed with buttons. They really didn't keep that in the movie. I haven't seen Boo York, Boo York in a very long time. So maybe he still had like a little obsession with buttons, but I don't think they kept that in the movie. That's amazing. That's like he was supposed to be like obsessed with buttons, and like he was gonna bore Cleo with it. That's so funny to me. And honestly, like, he looks amazing here. Like, he looks great in a suit, and I think he does wear a suit in the movie at one point, but he's wearing a mask, so You know, he's not the same thing. But here he looks amazing. Look at that, you know, like the collar with the, you know, the suit and the stripes and the bow tie, the little pocket, the sharp shoes, and then also the other concept art. He has a necklace, it seems, like on the top with a bow as well. Like there's variations here. He looks amazing in all of them. And the hair, amazing. I love the hair. It looks great. And just look at this. He's like, and this one was given to me by my mummy. So, and Cleo's just like not having it. Cleo is like, she's dying. She's undying of boredom. Like, and look at the pile of buttons next to him. So that's amazing. I love that. He looks amazing. And then of course we also have the concept art of beautiful, oh my, look at this beautiful artwork for Caddy. At first I thought this was Cleo because of the long hair, but this is Caddy, and she's looking longingly into this window where we can see a bunch of mannequins wearing these beautiful gowns, dresses. So I guess she really, yeah, so this is taking place at a low point in the movie. So maybe like where she doesn't know, again, I haven't seen the movie in a very long time. I kind of forgot what the plot was, like what happens to Caddy, but I know it's all about music, and I know it's like most of it is about Caddy and Seth, and they do become a thing, which is amazing. Yeah, I guess a low point, and yeah, it's just, to me, I think it's beautiful here because of the contrast with the warm lighting in the window, and then we have the rain obviously pouring down outside, and she's just not even bothered to like cover herself up with like an umbrella or something. And then you can see you know, passerbyers, like just people passing her by. Is that a word? You can just see people pass her by and just not really looking not turning 2 times to look at her. I think it's amazing, this contrast in the visuals of the, you know, warmth in the window and then the coldness outside. So I think that's a really great contrast. Honestly, it's like very sad we didn't get anything like this in the movie. Next up, we have the design evolution for Ramses Denial, October 19th, 2015. I came across this comparison of Ramses Denial from Ghoul's Rule and later from Bujork. In Ghoul's Rule, he was a late addition to the script. We really didn't have any budget to make him properly, so in order to compensate for the poor design and build, we wanted to keep him mainly in almost total shadows, hide the low quality, so to speak. I didn't think it actually worked out that way. It seems they showed him a lot more than we would have hoped. Of course, below is the remodel for Bujork. It's amazing what a budget can do, which honestly, yes, like the Ghoul's Rule version of him has no mouth. He has no mouth, y'all. He has no mouth. He has a very low quality headdress. Like, it's very low budget. Like, you can really tell it's just the basics, some rings, headdress, mummy, you know, and that's it. Like a little cane, and that's it. Like, he doesn't have much going on here. But in Bujork, he has a mouth, he has a more extravagant headdress, he has more details in his cheek, but he has cheekbones, y'all. He got cheekbone implants, basically. Implants all the way. So he looks totally different, like 2 different people, honestly. So that's amazing. It's seriously what a budget can do. Then we have some scrapped, you know, background location concept art, starting off with the Times Square concept art, Times Square, obviously. And it says here, concept art is from October 19th, 2015, an early concept for a Caddy Noir and Pharaoh musical number in the Bujork Times Square. Look at that. Look at that crowd. I mean, look at just the colors, the huge screens everywhere. It just looks amazing. And honestly, I don't think they kept this in the movie. I don't think we had Times Square as a location here. And then the other location is just a normal street walk crossing. And here we can see it says early concepts for Bujork. The ghouls are out on the town, and we can see Laguna and Frankie are included. Peretta, Caddy, you know, Cleo. And, you know, poor old Deuce is, you know, carrying all the shopping bags. So I honestly, it's very fascinating to me that, you know, Frankie and Laguna, once again, they were depicted here in concept arts But did they even keep them in the movie? I don't remember. I mean, the fact that I don't remember, I feel like speaks volumes that they're not in the movie. I don't think are they in the movie? Maybe like in the beginning, but I don't think they actually went to Boo York. And then we get to probably like the most juicy part of the scrapped media for Boo York, which is the giant girl that was totally scrapped as a side plotline for Frankie and Laguna. It says here, October 4th, 2015. In one of the earlier versions of the Boo York script, one of the new characters that they were going to introduce was a giant girl. In this version, Frankie Stein and Laguna Blue split off from the main group to have a separate adventure, which in the end would tie in with the main storyline. The story goes, this giant girl would somehow be living underground in the sewers of Boo York. This is some preliminary work based on that idea. Now, that is, wow. I mean, first off, design-wise, the giant girl looks amazing. And I do think that later on, they still kept that giant girl, you know, theme, but they applied it to Calliope Jellington. Yeah, that's her name. And they made the whole, you know, tall ghouls doll line. So that's what happened to the giant girl concept. But obviously, it still never made it into a movie. And obviously Frankie and Laguna never got their own little side adventure, which is such a shame. I don't think they were in the movie. If they were, I'm so sorry. I guess they just really didn't have any presence at all. If they had gotten this side plot, we would have gotten a new character with this giant girl, which we don't have a name for. What would she have been called? Obviously not Calliope, because she doesn't look like a Calliope. And she's not like a Calliope she's not like a goo monster. She's like a normal person, human, but she's just giant. So what that variant, I can't get over it. They really scrapped this idea. And you know, Frankie and Laguna, I mean, the sewers also look amazing, and even like a chase sequence seeming to take place in like a pipe, like a sewer, and then like she's looking into the pipe with her giant eye. I mean, it looks amazing. She looks sad. So there's obviously like a really good story here, like why she's living in the sewers at all, and like what's she doing there. Does she not feel like she's a part of anything, and that's why she's hiding away, or maybe she's like abandoned by her family? I don't know. So again, there's so many lost ideas here that they could have went with and explored and developed, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I guess like due to time constraints and the running time for the movie, they had too many ideas, and this was one of the ideas that they had to you know, get rid of to make the, you know, cut of the original runtime for the movie. But it is a shame, honestly. Then we have some early concept art and sketches for Astronova and her spaceship in Boo York from September 30th, 2015. They look amazing. I don't know why they ever went with the boring ass looking comet that ended up making it to the movie. Yeah, it's like a comet in the movie. There's no actual spaceship, and if there is, it's like a rock element. It does not look as awesome as these sketches do. These look amazing. Look, and then they actually open, and you can see a door here, and just different designs of like the crystal inside, and like how it would actually work with the shape that it is. It would make it faster if it's like shaped like a teardrop. That looks amazing. And then of course we have Astronova herself on like a little spaceship motorbike looking thing, and she looks completely different. She looks amazing. Look at that hair, look at that blowout, look at those shoes. I'm living for this early design of Astronova, and definitely this would have looked so good, so good. But obviously they wanted to, you know, in her playset that she came in, they wanted to make her float, and to have her float, she had to wear a headpiece that was magnetized to the playset, so she could actually, like, you know, quote, float in midair. So that's why they couldn't keep that ponytail hairstyle. But honestly, like, she looks so good here. I would have much more preferred to have her like in a separate, alone, you know, doll release, no playset. Just, she looks so fierce here. It's like, it's a shame. It's a shame. And then lastly, we have some early concept art for Clawdeen Wolf from Boo York that was posted on May 25th, 2015, and also some early concept art for Catty Noir. I believe the outfits are probably like very similar to what they end up wearing in a movie, and also what they end up wearing in the doll releases. But Catty looks amazing. Like, look at that. that like pencil skirt. I love the shoe, the boots, the side ponytail. I don't think she ever looked this good in the movie, and then Clawdeen as well. So honestly, these early sketches always end up looking way better than the final product. I don't know why, like the final versions never have this amount of slay and sassiness, like I'm afraid to say. That brings us to the end of today's episode of Lost Media from Boo York, Boo York. That is it. I'm afraid there's nothing else, and I have looked, but stay tuned for the next episode where we'll take a look at more Lost Media of a different Monster High movie. I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way daily and keeping you up to date with all the loyalty you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay beachy. Kisses.